Hey guys, welcome back. Ovan the Wise here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the game Shoppe Keep. Now, when I bought it, it was just under $5. Right now, it's at $6.99 on Steam. And this game has a absolutely massive amount of potential. I am just, as you can see, I have 8.1 hours in the last 2 weeks alone. And I am just thoroughly enjoying this game. Alright. Now, I believe the current update, is 10.2. And they recently added alchemy. I have attempted to recreate this alchemy recipe myself. I cannot figure out what the fourth item is to get this sword. If any of you know, please leave a comment down below, and we will do our best to create an alchemy guide for everyone and other players in a future video. Also, if you guys would like me to make a video explaining how the game works and the various mechanics, I'd be more than happy to. As you can see, I'm on day 11, and I have 90,167.5 gold. I have 116 objects in my shop. Currently, there is no way to get to the outside back room. Yeah, here's the alchemy system. I've been messing around with it. Apparently, this Dragon Soul gem has something to do with the alchemy system. I cannot figure it out. But yeah, we have bone, junk, miscellaneous, gold, metal, wood, and bone all the way over here in that order, so wood being on the far side there. For those of you who are unfamiliar with the game, this is the shopkeeper's little back room area. Back there I think is going to be some kind of forge where you can make your own items to sell in your shop. This is a mystical portal where you get your items delivered from. If we pull up the good old order sheet, we can order a couple of items. Just so that you guys can take a look at how that works. So you see I'll have a delay there. Mine's very short because I've been investing in some of the perks as the game has gone along. This is our adventure. We can hold down in and any of the numbers here, so 1, 2, or 3, and that will send him on an adventure. This is the alchemy cauldron. You can get items to use toward alchemy by left clicking, and to my knowledge this is the only recipe that I know of at the moment. You take 4 vials of bone and it gives you a heavy bone or a solid bone. Unfortunately there doesn't appear to be much use for this other than to maybe craft with other items, so I can just put it back in there. I don't think you get as much back as what you spend on it, which would make sense. I'm thinking in the future there might be a way to customize the way your character looks. Moving along, so yeah, we can see we have a big shop. We have these little guys who can run around and help you out. Unfortunately, as they stand right now, you have to reset them every time a new update is released. And just let me sweep up my floor here real quick. So the way that you set them up is you go up to them and you press F on them. And so this has them retrieve any items that are dropped by thieves, and that puts them in sentry mode or protect mode. And I usually put most of my... I have a very bad habit of hitting escape when I get out of that menu. I will actually set this one to retrieve items. Yeah, as you can see, I have a very large shop. I have everything unlocked currently in the shop, and still ever expanding. I know somebody's OCD is going to get tripped back there, but I only had one more potion to put up on the shelf. I've got lots of different items. One of the things a lot of people don't seem to know is that if you invest in the seeds that are in the game, you can actually grow those seeds in between the day cycles. And your first day doesn't start until you press E when you open up your front door. And you can open that from anywhere in your shop. And you really only need one of these sentry drones to recover items. If you have more than two, sometimes they end up fighting over the item and then they get stuck. And then you have to manually retrieve both of them, reset them. I'm sure this is a bug that's going to get fixed in the future. As you can see, there's lots and lots and lots of items that you can buy and sell. And when our guy comes back from his quest, he will have an item as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and we're going to play through one whole day. So we've opened up our shop for day 12. And you will see that the adventures start coming out. And basically our goal is we are a shopkeeper in a Dungeon and Dragon style type environment, and we are selling excuse me. We are selling all of the equipment needed to keep the adventurers adventuring. And so the idea is to make as much money as you can and don't go broke. And now, as you can see in the bottom right hand, I am adjusting how much interest we're selling the items for as a grand total. I find 200% does just nicely. However, I've seen people go up as high as 350%. In my opinion, you will not get as many return customers, which I have noticed return customers, as you can see. All villagers tend to kind of start out just as these generic looking people. And as they buy their armor and other random items, you will see they return to buy more. And as things get... Ooh, I heard somebody get zapped. And so yeah, you'll see, there he goes. You can retrieve the item and he'll bring it back to his little home area, where we can then retrieve it from him. And go put it back on a shelf somewhere. So we have small slot items and we have large slot items, and then there's some items that only go in weapon racks, some items that only go in armor racks, and I'm sure there'll be shields at some point, like shield racks for very large ornate decorative shields. As it stands right now, there's just a handful of these smaller shields, which can be worn by the NPCs, similar in a backpack style like you saw with our one adventuring NPC back at the beginning, and like right here. They're all pretty much worn like that. And then periodically, every few days, and I don't know if it's through a random number generator or not, but the game itself will generate barbarians to come and attack you. And as I was watching one of the videos on their main Steam page, it would appear as though like one of their intended goals is either to have a full-fledged multiplayer or other AI shops in this little town square area, and the idea would be that you're competing against them for business, and in addition to that you would be able to sabotage your business, whether that be to send rogues to assassinate them or whatever, or you hire the barbarians themselves, or whatever the case may be. But in the patch the other day, they also released like a barbarian queen, which I hadn't seen before, and she's very overpowered, extremely overpowered in fact. And in my mind, I see any multiplayer servers either having mods to make her even tougher than she already is, which, trust me, she is ridiculously strong, or whatever the case may be, simply in order to try to get the players to work together to defeat a common enemy, or simply to know that they're stronger and just let this common enemy, so to speak, wipe out the competition. So this game has a great amount of potential, and I'm very excited to see where it goes. I will most likely be posting update videos with any major patch updates that I catch, and I'll try to have a video out within the same week as the patch update. because I am very interested in this game. I love games like this. And so if you're interested in seeing patch updates, or maybe in the future seeing some kind of like an alchemy guide, go ahead and subscribe. You'll get notifications that way, and you'll keep on top of everything the same as everyone else. Now, I don't know if they ever plan on having some other type of steampunk robot, but it would be really nice if they could have something that could help clean up the shop floor. I noticed they had these things called mats, or at least they were called mats. I don't know if they still are. But you could put them down on the floor and basically line your shop with them. As you can see, our adventurer here has returned. He brought us a wizard hat along with quite a few bits of other loot. And pay those taxes. Making various guides to help out players, or maybe even a tutorial on the basics of the game if it's requested. I will probably be live streaming this game in the future, and if you don't know what my live stream is, I live stream on Twitch under the name Ovan the Wise. It's one word, capital O, capital W. I really enjoy live streaming. I play a lot of Space Engineers when I live stream, and from time to time I play Gary's Mod, which we're going to try to get some Gary's Mod up on the channel sometime in the future, near future, hopefully. I know my apology video as to where I have been has not gone out yet, so for those of you who are wondering why all of a sudden I'm just posting videos again, and what the deal is, and what the new schedule is, there is a video coming out to explain that, so I'll leave it at that. Now I will say this, for anybody who's thinking about buying a game, it is very easy to put too many of one item out during the start of the game, and basically shoot yourself in the foot. The only item that you can really do that with where you're not going to shoot yourself in the foot is the mana and health potion, simply because so many different of these NPC players are looking for them. However, you know, if you buy 26 arrows and you've only got 3 places to put it, you're not going to be able to afford your taxes by the time they roll around. Whereas if you had bought you know, some boots and some stuff and some broadswords and some arrows, you'd be able to put like one of each out. And although you'd have to stay on top of restocking the shelf every time it's sold, you won't have to worry about the economy basically getting dropped out from under you. Aha, barbarian attack. I kind of enjoy barbarian attacks simply because they give you a second or two to prepare your shop up and make it nice and clean. Oh, they destroyed quite a bit that time. So one thing you can do is you can drag them back here and grind them up for bones. The rats will be a problem. The NPCs don't particularly care for the rats. So the faster you can get those cleaned up, the better. There is a durability on all of the display racks, so you do have to constantly repair those. Mine were probably at 75-80%. And that's just because I had some use on them. As you can see, the rats went away. We can go ahead and get out our hammer and fix all this up. You will find that your shelves break the fastest, at least the ones with potions on them, because like I said, NPCs want them all the time. In my opinion, if you want a successful shop, never stop selling potions. You're never too rich to sell potions. As you can see, we started our day with 90,000. We're now at 134,000, and I paid like a $20,000 tax. A third of my shop's income comes from potions. And as you can see, I'm not really bothering to restock the shelves. It's because I have so many shelves. It's actually more efficient for me to stock most of the shelves at night. The only shelves that you'll really see me restock are the bookshelves, the potions, and you might see me restock some of the smaller slots that are on these larger tables, just because I know those items sell fast. Larger shelves and the larger sections of the tables tend to not really get restocked. I'll let him pick it up. You can always tell what time of day it is in the game. There used to be a clock that you could pull out on your character's wrist and look at it. It was kind of hard to read. One of the things I figured out very quickly early on in the game is you can always tell based on the music what's playing, whether it's day, noon, or night. At noon there's very hyped up playing music, and in the evening it gets nice and calm like this. In the morning it's very upbeat, and I find that right before I close is when I get the most business, and right before lunchtime-ish in the game is when I get the most business. So I try to make sure that the majority of my shelves are restocked by lunch, and if I know that there's been a hot seller that day, which, believe it or not, that's a thing, there is a hot seller, there's plenty of them on the shelves. The same as the reason why I've got a bunch of golden shields is I know that there are times where the NPCs come in and are just looking for golden shields. It's rare, but I'd rather be ready for it than to not be ready for it, because the amount of money that you can make will really get you set up in the long run. Like, even if you're a low-level character, if you just have 3 tables sitting in the corner of the room with 3 golden shields on it, yeah, that's a lot of shop space, yeah, that's a lot of floor space, yes, it was a lot of money spent, but when they sell, it will really make it worth your while. That's definitely what I've found out from this game. Anyway, I hope most of the hints and tips have helped you guys. I know the day here is getting ready to wrap up. So if you'd like to see more of this game, let me know. Otherwise, I think we're just going to be doing videos when there are updates, and I will do my best to explain the update as best as I can understand them, and show you how to do the things that are in the updates, because I know when this update came out, they changed the controls around on me, and it took me a while to figure them out. So if you'd like me to make some videos that help to explain new features of the game when they come out, let me know, either by leaving a like down below or leaving a comment telling me that you'd like to see that kind of content on the channel in the future, and I'll be more than happy to continue doing update videos. Like I said, I really feel the company that's making this game is onto something big here. I'm very into the Dungeons & Dragons style world play, and I'm very excited to see where this game goes in the future. And for those of you wondering why my sentries keep zapping those guys, it's because they've stolen something. Investing in one of those sentries very early on will save you a lot of product and a lot of time, because trying to figure out if somebody stole something or if they're just enthusiastically leaving the shop is very, very hard to figure out, believe it or not. One of the biggest problems I had is I kept killing innocent people very early on in the game, because sometimes the NPCs will just run out of the shop even though they've not stolen anything. So yeah, I just a fair bit of warning to those playing the game for the first few times. People will try to rob you if they think your prices are too high, and it is very easy to get mixed up as to whether or not they're a robber or whether or not they are indeed just excited about the deal that they just got buying from you. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this insightful look, and again, if you want to see more content, please just leave a like or let me know, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks guys, and have a wonderful day.